I'm Deidre. Have you ever wondered why some people are just able to cheat death? Or have you ever had an encounter where you missed death by just a smidgen, a millimeter, a second, and you wonder why? Why you? Or if thinking about someone else, why them? Why did they escape? Well, I've been wondering the same thing. I've been wondering about myself because I have had quite a few brushes with death. A little bit about myself. I am an author and I'm 44 right now. It is the year 2018 and I've always been a spiritual person. For as long as I can remember, I've always been very spiritual. I don't consider myself psychic per se, but I do get precognitive dreams. I've been getting those all my life. Too many to count. I've experienced telepathy, telepathic dreams. I've experienced, well, I am an empath by nature, innate. And I've also experienced lucid dreaming, out-of-body experiences, quite a few as of 2015, as well as a vision that I had when I was 9. It's an actual vision, like in the Bible vision, as well as 2 past life memories, etc. I could pretty much go on. I've never been religious except for the few years that I was what I call a born-again Christian, speaking in tongues, etc. Besides that, I do believe that I always have someone praying for me or giving out good vibes or thoughts, whether that be my parents or other family members or whomever, as well as myself. Of course, I have to protect myself with my own words, and now I do my own protection spells, if you will. So had I known about doing that years ago, I probably would have been in a better place. So what I'd like to tell you about is my first experience with cheating death. And maybe that might be too much of it, an exaggeration, but that's what I would call it. So my first encounter was when I guess I was about 7. And back then, that was the late 70s, and I believe that was the late 70s, yeah. Late 70s, early 80s, something like that. You get the drift. We had cereal boxes that inside you would get either a toy or some sort of treat, and oftentimes there would be some sort of competition that you could join or whatever. So my brother, he signed up for this I don't know, challenge or whatever, competition. I don't know what he had to do to join. I guess he just had to fill out the form maybe and just send it back. And the prize was a Schwinn bike. And even now, Schwinn is a well-known name for bicycles. And back then, Schwinn was like the bike to get, or bicycle. And after he filled it out, we didn't think anything of it. Of course, he wanted to win. So as his luck would have it, he was the winner. And when we found out he was winning this bike, oh my gosh, we were so excited. So at the time, my family and I we had moved from, initially we moved from New York to Georgia. And from there we moved to Florida. And that's where some of my family lived. So we hadn't been there that long, maybe a couple years. And, you know, when you're in transition from one state to the next, sometimes you have to move into an apartment or a condo or what have you. So we moved into, you know, a pretty decent apartment complex, you know, the type with the pool and the tennis courts and all that jazz, the clubhouse and everything. So we lived on the second floor, and everyone used to tease me that I was skinny as a pole or whatever name they could think of. The fact of the matter was, I guess I was pretty thin. So, but I was tall for my age at the time. So I was real thin, but I was very active. I loved to skate. I would skate with my friends all over the complex. I loved gymnastics, so I was doing flips, cartwheels, back bends, everything, you name it. And so I was very agile, and I've always been very strong. So I didn't think I was invincible, but I knew I could handle some things. So I definitely didn't look like it. If you took a peek at me, you wouldn't think I was strong at all, but I was very strong. I guess I had strong bones, maybe bones like iron or something. So anyway, it was Saturday morning, and usually where I lived on a Saturday morning, you would have a few people out, a few kids out. There was never a time when no one was out on a Saturday morning. Like a Saturday morning, especially it's sunny, it's beautiful out, which it was, someone would be out. You know, it wasn't a crowded neighborhood or anything like that, but someone would be out. This particular morning, I didn't realize it until, you know, moments later that no one was out, but at least no one that I could see. So my mother and my brother, they were in the kitchen talking it up and doing, I don't know what, you know, they were talking. And this particular Saturday morning, my dad was not home. I don't know if he was at work or at the store. I don't know, but he wasn't home at the time. This particular morning, he wasn't there. I was always a pretty impulsive, impatient, and independent type. So the logical thing, and probably the selfless thing, would have been to let my brother enjoy his new bike. But I wasn't having it. I had to get on that bike. I really, really had to get on this bike. And I was just so excited. I mean, my main motivator was the excitement. Not only that, but just, I love to do things. I love to be active. I love to, you know, climb the monkey bars, do all that stuff, go down the slide, jump off of the two-story jungle gym things. I was all over the place. So anyway, I asked my mother if she could help me take the bike downstairs. And there was one long staircase. I'm actually going to try to post a picture of that at some point during this video, maybe at the end. There's a long staircase emanating from the second floor straight down to the bottom level, as opposed to a zigzag step, you know, staircase. It was just one long swoop. You didn't go ding ding, you just went ding. And it was all, I guess, cast iron, and the steps themselves were concrete. So at the tips of every step was metal or cast iron or what have you. And I asked them if they can help me. Nobody was even listening. Like, can somebody help me bring this bike downstairs? Like, ASAP. But they didn't really take me seriously, and they were too engaged in whatever they were discussing or doing or cooking or I don't know what. But anyway, I couldn't wait any longer. You know, as a 7-year-old usually is, you know, very impatient. Can't wait any longer, gotta have it now. So I just said, okay, I guess, you know, in my head I was thinking I could do this. So, what the hey, I'll just do it myself. So the bike was bigger than I was. The bike was thicker than probably any of my arms, legs, whatever. I don't know. But anyway, so I got the bike. I think the bike was already on the patio, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know. So it was one of those second stories where you have the patio, which is, you know, it's like a balcony and a patio put together. So there I am, holding the bike. The bike is in tow, you know, like this. And I don't remember what type of shoes I had on. I guess they were decent enough to go down the stairs with. Well, I got to the first step, maybe the second, and that was all she wrote. I don't know what happened. Lost my footing. I have no idea what happened, but I went tumbling all the way down with the bike. The bike never left my hand the whole time. So, hands. The bike never left my hands the whole time going down. Just imagine a little kid, skinny kid at that, with a big old bike. The bike was big enough for my older brother, who was, you know, older, 3 years older than me. And so if it's big enough for him, it was probably too big for me. Anyway, so there I am tumbling all the way down the steps. Now, mind you, as I'm tumbling down the steps with this bike in tow, I'm fully aware that I'm falling down the steps. But the way that I normally handle situations like that, I'm not a screamer. I guess most females would be like screamers, but I'm not a screamer, and I pretty much go into calm mode, which is the total opposite of what most people would do. Most people would be just like screaming and help me, ah! But I'm the total opposite. My mouth is shut pretty much, and I'm just, you know, letting it happen. So, the whole time I'm falling down the steps with this bike in tow all the way down, I'm fully aware and thinking, oh my God, that's it. I don't know what's gonna become of me by the time I hit the ground. You know, I was hopeful, you know, I wasn't thinking anything, but at the same time, realistically, you know, you're just like, oh my God, what the heck did I do? So I'm telling you, I landed on at the end of the step, the bottom step. So I ended on the concrete, sitting in an upright position with my legs out, and the bike, I don't know, I guess the bike fell somewhere on the side. Not one scratch, not one bruise, not one cut, no pain, nothing. Not a bump on my head, not a cut on my finger, no back pain, nothing. Just nothing, just absolutely nothing. And I sat there like mesmerized, like I'm just looking like I didn't see anybody, because I was wondering who else saw this, like, you know, because I was thinking someone would be there who saw it, who can be like maybe running to me, I guess, you know, wondering, are you okay? Or whatever. Are you still alive? No, just kidding. No one was around. That's the oddest thing. No one. And for a Saturday morning, for no one to be like even walking. No kid out, nothing. I think it was maybe 7, 8 a.m. in the morning, whatever, something like that. You know, Saturday mornings, kids are always out, but no one was out. And no, I'm looking around. I wonder if anybody saw me. I don't know. But there I was, not hurt, nothing. It was like it never happened. And to this day, I have no idea. All I could think is I had a guardian angel, or, you know, somebody that said, you know, if you ever heard the expression, there's like an expression, some people say it, God takes care of children and fools. So I guess that day I was both a child and a fool because I was foolish for taking the bike down without waiting for, you know, someone bigger than me to take it down, or at least help me take it down. And, you know, hey, you know, you would think live and learn. I mean, I did, but still you do, sometimes you do impulsive things. But I to this day, I don't know what happened. I didn't see any angel. I didn't see any spirit or anything like that. But given all that I did, you would think there was at least a cut, or, you know, a bruise, a bang, something. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And so I know that I cheated death that day, or at least cheated some sort of horrible, you know, pain. You know, something bad, really bad. So that was my first experience. I do have some other experiences that occurred later on in life, and the next one that you'll see in the next video is not that long after. I believe it was when I was 11 or 12. So yeah, so stay tuned for that one. But I've thought about that incident for the rest, you know, from that time on, and I definitely believe it was some type of miracle. And I was never quite sure, you know, what was the purpose of me being saved. Was it so that my parents wouldn't be, you know, in tears? Was it for me? Was it for, I don't know, was it for the people that would be born in the future? You know, would it be because I would become a mother in the future, or a wife, or whatever? I don't know. But I do believe that if I had not survived that, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am now, where I've learned more of, I'm not going to say the meaning of life, but where we go when we die and things like that. So I've always been on a lifelong mission to learn more about, you know, what separates us from the other side of the veil, the spiritual veil, and what have you. And because I'm so spiritual, I kind of live my life in a, I don't know, my mind is more on the spiritual than it is on the physical most times. And kind of like, not daydreaming, because I don't daydream, but everything that I think about and learn, and you know, a lot of what I think about and learn, it has to do with something spiritual, metaphysical, and it's as if I just rather be thinking about those things. So now, when it comes to, as I say, cheating death, some people may have theories as to if it regards karma. Did you make some good karma in your life or something? And at age 7, I mean, what sort of good karma would you have already made, except for maybe smiling at people and making them laugh and, you know, things like that, being obedient or whatever. But I can tell you that as I got older, there are things that I maybe, you know, I mean, I guess you can't retro karma. I always wonder if you can retro karma. I actually had some incidents in life that might be a good argument for retroing karma, good and bad. But I'll tell you about those things in the next videos, because this one is about when I'm 7, so not much karma to build at that particular point. So I hope you like this video, and if you're interested in seeing and knowing about my consecutive life cheats, I don't know, just check out the next videos. Have fun with it, and let me know your thoughts. If you've had experiences like this, let me know what yours have been and what you think the meaning of it was, why you cheated death, and if you were happy about it, not happy about it, you know, because sometimes people don't want to cheat death, they just want to go, you know. So I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like and subscribe. See you in the next video.